Hi, everybody. Welcome to the new normal. I'm your host, Lisa Davis, aka Litecoin Lisa. Today is WuJu Wednesday, and we've got my buddy the Public Awakening, waiting in backstage for you guys. We're hopefully going to have Satoshi Sean on with us. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties. Not sure what's really going on here, but we always have a little challenge here and there. So we're glad you're here. Thanks for watching us. Please give us a like, share this video, and give us a comment. Let us know what your thoughts are on all this craziness going on. So we'll be right back right after this. Hey there, Public. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing swell. How are you?
Hello. I'm good. We've had some weird storms here, unusual weather for us this time of year. So it's been weird. I see Nancy's having kind of the same things there.
We actually have beautiful weather today for once here on the East Coast.
Did you?
Oh. It's gorgeous out. Yeah, it's nice. It's like high 70s, 80 maybe. Wow. Nice clear weather. Strange.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, we don't get that very often lately. It's hazy, hot as all get out, or
whatever expletive
you want. I'm just saying, you were complaining about Jersey weather. I was looking at the weather for last weekend. It was like 100 by you.
Yeah, it's been.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's typically in the hundreds a couple weeks, and then, they were like, there was an article that I tweeted out, and it was like, Farmer's Almanac predicts cold winter ahead as normal.
As usual.
Oklahoma.
Because it's winter.
It was like, because it's winter and it's going to be cold. Yeah. Don't freak out, people. It's also typically in the hundreds in August in Oklahoma. So that's normal too. What's not normal is we're having these storms roll in. Lots of like thunderstorms. I'm seeing so many posts about lightning. I'm still seeing them everywhere. Lightning in space.
I saw that one the other day. So
I sent you that one.
Going, right up into space. Like, what's up with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Doesn't lightning needs like something to
grounding thing.
Yeah. So how's it going up there?
I don't know. There's crazy things about lightning. There are more people hit by lightning. Stories about that.
Whatever happened with the people hit by the White House by lightning? I mean, I saw that briefly and I kind of fluffed right over it.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to them. I think they were okay. And then there was like that whole thing in, was it India? Where there was like that big episode of some kind of storm, and like where several days in a row, people were being hit by lightning every day. That was a couple weeks ago. Anyway,
not good.
It's been crazy. Yeah.
Not good.
So something going on with that. I don't know what it means, but I think it's some kind of messaging thing. So
could be. We haven't had a lot of lightning here. But we've been having storms where it's like 3-4 inches an hour, which is absurd for this area. That's hurricane weather. That's hurricane level rain and storms normally. We had one a couple of weeks ago, and then it just dried out, and then it's just been dry. All the lawns are drying up.
Early for hurricane season for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's not hurricanes. That's the thing. These are just regular, summertime thunderstorms rolling through, but they're dumping 3-4. There was one a few weeks ago before. Now we're in a drought. So we went from 3-4 inches, 5 inches an hour a few weeks ago. There's 5 inches an hour of rain. For here,
what?
That's like Noah and like some boats and some animals.
I can't imagine 5 inches in 1 hour.
Oh Yep. Yep. It's just insane. And then it just stopped. And then now there's like little drizzles, and it rains for like a little bit, and it's, it's not even normal. It went from totally way too much to now we're on drought restrictions for the first time since 2018, I believe. Here, so 4 years, and now we're in drought restrictions.
A week later?
It's been a few weeks. It's been a few
weeks. Okay.
Yeah, it's been a few weeks now.
Very strange.
But there wasn't that gradual shift. It was 3, 4, 5 inches an hour, and then it just stopped.
And then just over. Yeah.
And now there's nothing.
Bizarre.
Yep. Weird weather. I mean, we know that's a thing, right?
But we know, the former vice president made a statement about it, that we can't control it, but we will be able to.
Can't control it.
Not hear him say that?
I heard him say that, but they've been able to control the weather since like the 60s. Come on.
Yeah.
You guys, you and Sean talked about that one day. Maybe I was on that show. I don't know.
I don't know. You and I have talked about it several times.
Sure. Started in the end of World War II, and then they ramped it up in during the Vietnam War, and they used it as weather war, as a weapon of war. They flooded out the Ho Chi Minh Trail so that the Viet Cong couldn't get to them, and they dumped silver chloride or silver something into the sky, and then aluminum something into the sky, and it just makes so much rain that it washed half mountains. There was mudslides that wiped out mountains and troops.
Crazy.
It is
crazy. There's a lot of, I think everybody's pretty caught up on the Trump thing, but I'll go over it briefly. There's a lot more information coming out that they had Trump's, oh wait. Okay, now it's not going to let me share that.
Did they say if they confiscated anything or took anything? I mean, I haven't read or heard anything about that, right?
So now it is not allowing me to share my screen magically. I could do this yesterday, but not today.
No way. I don't believe it. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, that's why we were on a little late today. I had to restart my computer 4 times. And each time either it was just blank, or I had video without audio, or I had my mic wouldn't work, and then my sound was off. And then one time I was able to get on, and I just saw the spinning pinwheel of death, and Lisa had a white screen on my end. And my internet's working fine. Not a problem with the internet.
And when I tried to call you or text you, you text me, and I tried to see the message, and my whole phone just went completely white, and I couldn't see any messages. It was bizarre.
Indeed.
And now it's telling me to do something else to my.
Did the little paper clip come up and start bouncing around and tell you to do stuff?
No, but it said if I want to screen share to go to my system preferences, which I literally I screen shared yesterday with Sean, and it worked just fine. And so why would it have been changed? Or nothing's changed. Anyway, it's just very frustrating.
It's magical. It's magic. Black magic. Fuckery, they call it. It's not sorcery. It's fuckery.
Yeah. And allow these, but it indicates that an app has used your location within the last 24 hours. Enable location services. Okay.
Odd.
Use my password. I know. Well, we can talk about other things. This is.
You know what else is weird? On my screen here, it's not showing people's little icons, little profile pictures next to their names. It's just blank.
Oh, I can see it.
I cannot. Very weird.
That is weird. Let me see if I do it this way. I might be able to do a little sidestep.
Sidestep it. So it looked like the meetup was awesome. Again, I apologize.
It was, yeah, we missed not having you there, but it was great. Oh, well, then there's that. Yeah, it was great. We had an amazing event, and so we have a couple of items that are still available. Bitcoin bin bid on the Bix Weird Road to Ruta package, which has like the comic book signed by Bix and authenticated, a Road to Ruta coin, a hat, a shirt. I can't remember if a subscription is with it as well, but I'll find out. And then he donated it back so that we can auction it off again. We have a Hall of Fame John Elway football. We have 2 silver bars. One's Beyond Mystic and the other one's Tarot by Janine. They're a pair that Jim Montgomery donated together. And we have the helmet, the mini helmet, Tim Tebow authenticated mini helmet.
Jim Montgomery really
he's so generous.
Through, huh? He really came through. What did he do? The hat, the helmet, the silver?
He did the football, the helmet, the silver. I feel like he may have given something else as well.
Jim,
he's super generous.
The man. Awesome, brother. Thank you.
Everybody that came was just, Tom donated a 10-ounce silver bar. Denise Baker donated one, but it's on its way here. And so once it gets here, then I have to ship it to Gary M because he won the bid on that one.
Wow. That's so cool.
So, yeah, we had, just all the NFT stuff that Blind Dave got us.
How did that do?
That went really well.
I would imagine somebody's going to buy a house with that stuff and soon, I'm sure.
Yeah, we didn't have as many people online, so they asked me to set it all up so online people could be a part of it. And then we had, I think, 4 people online join, but still that was 4 people. That was 4 tickets online, plus they bought a $100 raffle ticket. So that was 4 more, ticket sales plus the $100 raffle ticket towards for the veterans. So all that money helps.
It helps the cause for sure.
It helps the cause for sure. And they were, oh my gosh, the Warriors for Freedom were amazing. So there was all that, cool synergy where we were doing the freedom celebration, their Warriors for Freedom. Then their son was in Old Ironsides, which is in the same battalion my dad was in. So then he shows up in his dress blues with his, this, and presents my mom with this flag. And they, my mom got to talk about my dad a little bit and tell some of their story and how they got into silver and crypto and, how much this would mean to my dad to be able to support the veterans and, all these stories about them traveling on the road, doing oil and gas work. And one time they were in, I think she said Montana, and they bought all this really, expensive heavy clothes and all this, and then they lost their job. And so he was like, before we leave, we have to go find some homeless veteran group, and they donated all their clothes to that, so they could leave that heavy clothes up there for homeless veterans. And so it was really cool. And my daughter was there, Carly. She was working her little tail off, running back and forth, trying to help, between selling raffle tickets and helping with the silent auction. And Cannon was mostly running around eating food, I think, but and playing at the selfie photo booth. But we had fun. It was really cool. And,
that's really cool.
Yeah, it was cool. Yeah. And yeah, Mark won one of the NFTs. So Dave will be getting with you on that. You might watch Blind Dave's YouTube channel. He's been posting some information about that, and he will connect with you. If I sent you an NFT if I sent you an email about the NFT, then that means you, Blind Dave was CC'd on that email. So you might reply to him, and he's going to connect you with all that, and maybe set up a time for a Zoom call or something with him if you need some help with that.
That's awesome.
I may do a whole nother show with him because it was just really a cool opportunity. And I know that the guy was going to create a Litecoin Lisa NFT on DigiAsset, and donate that to me as well, which I thought was super generous. So I thought, well, maybe we can do a show and Dave can like walk me through the whole process of like, okay, this is how you set up. Because I haven't done any of that. My husband has done all that stuff on his computer and phone and all that. But I'm like, I just use this for streaming. Like that's pretty much all I do with this computer. But I could set the Digi Asset ID and I could screen share if it'll let me.
That's
if we're
awesome.
having a good day. And but I think it'd be a cool thing to show everybody and kind of walk through that whole process and have him send the NFT so everybody could kind of see that process. So
I still really don't understand NFTs all that much. Like I get them. I lost one. You know which one I lost? I was told I can find it somehow. The one from the first Westwood meetup where
the trash can?
Yeah, I lost it. It's somewhere though.
It's probably in a Koinomi wallet, I think, is what we were all downloading at that time.
It could be.
If you have do you have a place where you keep your seed phrases?
Yeah, buried in the backyard on a farm.
Yeah, well, don't tell anybody where it is, but
no,
but
legit.
if you go through,
go ahead.
Yeah, if you go through and look either through old wallets or find seed phrases that if you find like an old Koinomi seed phrase and then go look for it, and then look in your, you have to look in your, I want to say, no, you know what? Maybe it was in the Coinbase one. Hold on, let me look real quick.
Coinbase has since locked me out years ago at this point.
Oh, no, it's not because I'm not even signed in on that.
Yeah. Like they locked me out some time ago. I had my account hacked and they locked me out. Like,
oh, no, it's not Koinomi. Oh, maybe it is. Wait, NFTs. Wallet locked. Password. Oh, crap, I have to go look it up. Oh, wait, maybe it's just because I have my thing on. No, this one doesn't use my face. I'll have to go get my passwords and stuff. Because I don't keep it on here.
you know what you just did?
Did you find it?
Found it.
Where was it?
In the Koinomi wallet.
Well, there you go.
Holy smackaronis.
Well, there you go.
I wonder how much odd spam we're going to get now asking to update our Koinomi stuff.
Oh, God. Well, thank God I didn't
Phishing, but with
unlock mine yet. Yeah.
Well, I hope nobody can steal it just by looking at it. That's actually the only thing I have on this wallet. Wow.
Oh,
I thought it was gone. I literally thought it was gone. I can't believe it.
That's funny.
I've heard, how long has it been? 3 years? 4 years?
Yeah, maybe. It was a long time ago.
Holy smackaronis.
Mm-hmm.
On an old phone too. That's not my current phone. I have a stack of old phones that are no good anymore. Broken screens. The batteries last about 3 seconds. Like literally, I just had to keep that plugged in. That's the only way that one would turn on.
But they all have a little bit of silver in them, so.
Yeah, at some point, like what was it? Big said at some point it's going to be profitable to mine silver through the garbage,
the landfills,
through the landfills. Yeah. Did you hear about the guy in England right now who's searching for an old desktop that he threw out some time ago, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or something like that?
Does it have Bitcoin on it?
He's got backers who have, I think funded the project for him to about $7 million at this point. And he's literally going to sift through this landfill in England. I don't know. He said they have some technology now that can help sorting through and sifting through. The desktop has about I think it was $150 million worth of Bitcoin or something on it at this point, and threw it away. And back in the day, didn't realize or know, or however that works. And yeah, so then now who's ever invested, if and when it's found, they get a piece of it.
Interesting.
Imagine what a
mining
smelly job that's going to
trash.
be. It's like hepatitis and like talk about like diseases.
Well, and the problem with trying to
Stuff it.
do that with silver is silver's not magnetic, right?
No, it's
So you
non-ferrous,
couldn't
as they say.
do it with a big magnet or something. You couldn't
Yeah.
like search the, you know, I don't
Well,
know. That would
how
be
much
difficult.
garbage would it find? Honestly, the only way I could imagine you do it is piece by piece, right? I mean, they don't even know that it's recoverable. They don't know what state it's in, but
Right.
apparently the treasure hunt of 150 or 160 million dollars is worth it.
So the reason that he would need that is because he mined it directly to that unit. Because
I'm not
any other
sure.
time,
Yeah,
Bitcoin is on the blockchain. So why wouldn't you be able to?
maybe the keys are on it. Maybe this was before anybody cared about knowing their keys, or maybe it was mined. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't. Let me look up that story. That's
I don't know why Sean is not in here. And he's talking to us in the chat, but he's not. He didn't accept the link I sent to him in Twitter and on his cell phone to join us. He said it's 7,500 Bitcoin.
Wow.
That's a lot.
That's how much is that? See, that's funny. He knew the story.
Of course he knows.
Sean's a really smart guy, and he's such a good story.
And Daddy-O says it's like however much that is.
I'm sorry, it's 150 million British pounds, however much is that.
British.
Hey Google, how much is 150 million British pounds worth?
150 million pounds is approximately
$183 million. That's incredible.
200 million.
That's incredible.
You guys talking to your computers all the time.
But mine doesn't answer to computer like Sean's does. Like, that's cool. Like, I want that. I
You just have to change your name. Yeah.
Can I do that?
Obviously.
Well, I don't know these things. I don't know. Really.
Mm.
The ETH value is roughly 500 million. Woof. Woof. See, that's a treasure hunt. I might be digging through a landfill with like some really thick gloves on, like for that kind of money. Sure. Imagine like the terror in your heart when you finally realize, you know, these things from however long ago worth what, a fraction of a penny each, or what, $1, whatever it is, and not even $1. Like, even still, nobody would want to throw out $7,500. I met a guy at, I have a coworker who I just found out recently got into crypto years ago. He was mining Bitcoin on an old computer, and he stopped once it started taking a month to mine 1/10 of a Bitcoin, and he's like, nah, I'm going to move into mining something else. But he's been in it for a long, long time. And I had no idea. So now I call him like my new best friend at work.
Yeah. You're like, hey, you want to have lunch?
Hey, want to talk about crypto stuff?
Well, speaking of the Warriors for Freedom and crypto and all that stuff, so I had the director of finance call me today, and she was like, you know, that coin stuff you guys were talking about, that crypto stuff. She's like, I know you guys are right about that. I know the banks are going to go down. And she goes, I mean, I have silver and stuff. She goes, but you guys are right. You know, we are in a digital age and all this. And so we start talking, and she's like, Major Ed started trying to explain it to us because he's into crypto. But she's like, I really need somebody to explain to me. And so we started talking about it, and I talked to her, and I think I'm going to go down and do a class for the veterans for free and help them. But then I also was telling her, you know, hey, go watch Banking on Bitcoin so you can start hearing some of the vocabulary language, you know, in context, because that'll be helpful. And then go to Andreas Antonopoulos and listen to his Bitcoin for Beginners playlist, because that's always a great go-to for people that are just getting started. This, I think Sean would have flipped out about, but I don't know why he can't join us for whatever reason. He's in the chat.
Sean, come on, man.
He wanted to come on here today and then join on his channel for the second half, but I guess he's changed his mind. I don't
It's
know.
like, forget it. Forget you people.
I don't know what's going on. We had a little misunderstanding yesterday too, so I don't know what's going on. But I'm up for whatever he wants to do. So I think this is more fear porn. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be telling people that I think it's fear porn, but I think it's to wake people up. If you need to believe this to wake you up, then wake up. The U.S. Census Bureau is demanding gun holster companies hand over customer info. They want to know who owns gun holsters. I don't know that the Census Bureau has any power to do that. But
Do you need power to do stuff anymore? Do you need authority? Do you need the law on your side to do stuff? Apparently not.
Apparently not, because they tried to on Trump's deal. I guess they held the warrant like 10 feet away from his attorney, and she couldn't even read it. And then they didn't follow the warrant. They told him to turn off the cameras and tried to kick the attorney out so she couldn't supervise the raid. And then they went all over his property on places that was not covered by the search warrant. So it's kind of crazy. There was also in some of the documents, it shows that they had like a mole or someone planted in Trump's property that gave them inside information about what items to look for and where they might be and all that. So it's like,
that's kind of crazy though. How would some
insane
mole, unless they've been there for a very, very long time, know anything sensitive? Not just because he's a wealthy man who has a lot of protection set up for himself at his home, but he's a president. How do you get somebody in there for that? I mean, I guess these things happen. I guess, spies
or do
whomever else.
Or is this part of the movie? We were talking before we got started. Just there's, the 17th letter of the alphabet said that like the way people will find out or be educated on this stuff is that they'll be at home and that they'll be watching. And I want to say you explained it like, or it would be like a loop of movies running every 8 hours for 3 days, or so. It was something like
an 8-hour movie or an 8-hour movie running 24 hours a day, 3 times a day for 3 days is what I remember. This was, what was this, 3 or 4 years ago?
A long time ago. Yeah. So what I started thinking about is they're starting to have more and more of these. So for a long time on Netflix, there were no new movies coming out, nothing. All of a sudden, there's these movies coming out again. And there's one we watched last night called The Most Hated Man on the Internet. And it's this guy that created this revenge porn website. And he tried to use Section 230, which I think that they're trying to educate people on 230. A little bit of that, like they're sprinkling a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit here, a little bit there. Like, and people are going to be like, oh yeah, I heard about that. Or I remember hearing about something about that, and then they have like this total degenerate show his story, roll it out. This happened in 2011, 2012. Then the FBI got involved. I guess back when they were decent and did things to help protect people. And then fast forward to, I believe the trial was in 2015 or 2016 when he got sentenced to like 30 months in jail or something. He and this guy who was hacking people's emails and then stealing pictures out of their emails. I
remember this story. Yeah, I remember that from a while back, right?
Yeah, and posting it up. So he would not only do that, but he would post their social media information so that they could be trolled or hacked or harassed. And in this documentary video movie, they introduced this guy who's a badass named James, who tells, and he is just covered in the most beautiful red, white, and blue tattoos. And he is a like digital warrior, but he's in the Marines and he's in intelligence. or maybe it was Navy intelligence. Well, that would
Mhm.
be Marines, right?
No, Navy
I don't
intelligence would
know
be
that
naval
it's
intelligence.
necessarily in the Marines. I can't remember now. I
Okay.
apologize. But he was James, and he was in the military. He's either Navy or Marines intelligence, and he was talking about how this guy, this story, he was going to use him for how the creep guy approached him about advertising on his website, and he said he didn't know the bear. He just woke up and poked because the Marine or the military guy had been bullied as a child. He was actually came from an abusive home where his father beat his mother with a frying pan. He never saw either parents again. He was in foster care and was abused himself. And so he hated bullies. And then he grew up to be this badass with a brilliant mind on top of it. And so he like mentally figured out a way to like take this guy down and get rid of him. I mean, it was so there, and they brought up Anonymous. They brought Anonymous into it. Anonymous comes in, wipes the servers. I probably shouldn't be telling you guys all this because it's a really good little series, but it was, I think it was 2 or 3 episodes. But
What was this called?
The Most Hated Man on the Internet.
Okay.
And they're introducing this stuff into normies' life that most normies don't know exists, or they think it's a myth. They've heard about Anonymous, but they think it's a bunch of 15-year-olds in the basement or something. They don't realize it's like, no, a legit group of very highly capable, educated, trained individuals who are benevolent and want to do, protect people. And so it was very cool watching it play out. And then also showing this military intelligence hacker guy and his good heart and wanting to protect people and the way that they were protecting people, cyber protecting people.
Okay.
It was pretty incredible. But I think I'm like, oh, this is how they're going to tell people. This is how, because we have no attention span now. If you try
What?
to tell people, if you try to tell people to watch the news, no one watches the news, and no one trusts the news anymore. So
Right.
if the news tried to tell me something, I wouldn't believe them. And nobody really cares. And how does it affect me? And Sean brought up a great point. He said, his boys who are very intelligent, they don't want to hear it unless it affects them. They're like, yeah, how does that affect me? But if I'm being entertained, if I'm watching Netflix and, oh, that's interesting, wait, I want to hear that. I heard about this trial or that trial or this thing or that thing. And they
Right.
play it out in these movies. And if we're stuck at home for something, again, I don't know that we will be. I hope we're not. But they
I hope not.
did. Yeah. There were 2 articles in Oklahoma that
I
actually.
don't know that it would fly. Would it fly here if they try and keep people home again? There's a lot less people that are drinking that Kool-Aid at this point.
I don't know that the illness thing would, but they were threatening the nuclear thing in New York pretty hardcore. You don't think they'd buy it?
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
mean, if people are waking up, I mean, I'm old enough to remember back in the day when there used to be air raid drills in school and you used to have to go outside the classroom and stand in the hallway and put your head against the lockers and put your hands over, go under your desks. Like I remember those. And what was that? In case it was a nuclear blast, right? It's like, no, the school would just be dust. Like that's not going to help. That was part of the whole conditioning thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean,
and if it's coming from the mainstream media, once again, people aren't trusting that.
right.
So, yeah, I do not know. I'm not sure how that's going to play out. It's hard for me because of, where we are and, the people that we hang out with and our information sources. And so my thought process is so different. My husband will get on Facebook and talk to friends that we have, and he'll talk to them where they are. And I'm like, why are you encouraging that thought process?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, that's where they are. They believe that that's Joe Biden and he's in the White House, So I don't know.
Even
Just very
some of the biggest skeptics of this whole thing at this point still are questioning whether that human is actually in the White House or not, right? I mean, isn't it kind of common knowledge that there's a studio behind the White House or somewhere around the White House that they do a lot of their
or they're in
broadcasts
some
from?
other rooms, or I don't know. There's been a lot of, and people, have even mainstream media kind of guys like, what's the guy with the good hair?
Me?
He has hair like you. Jesse Waters.
Okay.
He's like said things out, on his show about, being on a stage or being on a,
Right.
things like that. So I don't know. It's pretty good.
Well, remember the cars parked outside the window behind, there was like a moving van out there. There's like people walking around, it's like,
Yeah.
I don't really think it works like that.
Well, and then, picking the weeds on the lawn on the way
Presenting
to
her
the
with a
helicopter.
weed.
Yeah, on the way to the helicopter, I was just
It's like I remember hearing that, and it's like in the back of my head I heard like wah wah wah.
yeah,
Here's a weed, honey.
a
I love you.
dandelion for you. Yes, there would never be a dandelion on the lawn of the White House.
I would agree with that. As a former landscaper out in the field for 20-something years, no,
never gonna happen.
Nope.
No. Crazy. But it is exciting because we've been in a lull of action for quite a while, I feel like. And now it does seem like,
or are we just getting numb to all the action? I mean, the little bit of nothing that's coming out now 3 or 4 years ago would have been like, whoa, it would have been like we would have been talking about it for weeks. And we're just becoming, I don't know whether that's good or bad, but I think we're just becoming numb to a lot of this information. It's so at this point, a lot of us are like, figures. Okay.
It's about time.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. It's all perspective. That's
this is how they're going to do it. It's kind of how I feel.
Right.
Like, this is how they're going to do it. This is how it's going to play out.
But then
I wondered how that was going to happen.
Right. But then can we actually, I still question if there's still going to be that one moment where everybody is brought up to speed. I still question if or how that's going to happen, because it's happening all around us. I mean, when we first started this show, and when you first asked me to be on WuJu Wednesday with you, the things we were talking about as huge events in the future are like, it's all out. Like we've everything we thought would happen and discussed would happen and could happen.
Out.
Well, a lot of it, a lot of the things that we would have thought as impossible have already come and gone.
Yeah, a lot of it.
Maybe there'll be a way to, I guess maybe a movie, maybe a documentary about tying it all together, all of the things that have come out and all of the things that we've learned over the years about corruption, about little people, and
so
maybe that's all just going to be tied together in a way where it really hits home. I mean,
that's one thing I do want to talk to you about. And I wanted to talk to Sean about it too, but he's unable to join us. And I'm not sure. I hope he's okay. He's in the chat, so I'm grateful for that.
He just said he's feeling a little under the weather. He's fine.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad he's joined us in the chat then. We had talked about the Mcgirt case in Oklahoma before. And in the version of NESARA that you talked to me about or educated me about, shared with me, shared. They talked about the Indians bringing a lot of healing to our land, educating us, whether it was about medications or different kinds of things. The Mcgirt case, Sean really helped me see a different side of it. He's like, no, that's not a good thing, Lisa, because it's the way it played out was saying, or the way I understood, the way I read that the decision was that it was okay for the U.S. government to go into the Cherokee land, and if someone were to hurt a child on Cherokee land, that the U.S. government could hold them accountable for that, even if it was a Indian child on Indian land. Mm-hmm. And he's like, that's like if you hit somebody in your car on our land, do you think, somebody from Russia should come over and say, arrest you because you're not allowed to hit people in Russia with their car? You know what I mean?
Right. So that's a tough one. Yeah.
It's a tough one, especially when you get to talking about children, because everyone wants to protect children. So there was this super weird situation this weekend, which I sent you and Sean the link to it, because I was like, okay, was that set up because it was really the reverse. There was an arrest in Alaska. Where is it? Did you read it? The arrest in Alaska that I sent you?
Probably, but I don't remember it.
I know I sent you a bunch of stuff. So there was arrest in Alaska, and the U.S. government needed the Cherokee Indians' help. So they brought the Cherokee Indian. Where is that story? Oh, here, I figured you'd be all over this one too, but we can talk about that in a minute.
But as much as I hate Twitter, I still miss it. Look at all those things to look at and talk about.
I know. Here's the lightning bolts that I was seeing. 100 times stronger than normal.
Yes, I saw that one. Speaking of Twitter, I finally got a response from my appeal from months ago about why my account was terminated, and it basically said, paraphrasing, your account is permanently banned. You will not be able to create new accounts, which we know because I've tried. And if I feel that there's something made in error, I can appeal it again. Literally months and months and months.
That's weird.
Yep.
Why now?
They just sent it out. I got all excited. I saw a new alert come up. I was like, oh, it's working. No, it wasn't working. They just wanted to break my chops. I'll see if I could find it while you're scrolling.
Yeah. Dang it, I can't find it. But anyway, basically, they were saying that, look at that car. Oh my gosh. Basically, they were saying that.
An update on your report. Thanks again for letting us know. Our investigation found that this account violated the Twitter rules. We appreciate your help in improving everyone's experience. This is a different one. I just got another one. Appreciate your help in improving everyone's experience on Twitter. You can learn more about abusive behavior. They won't tell me what I said. They won't show me what I did. It's like, whatever court of Twitter law there is. And there you go. I said nothing. I did nothing. I certainly didn't abuse anything or say anything even negative. But it is what it is. They don't let everyone play in the same, in the same clubhouse.
Mm-hmm. I can't find it now. Which is really weird, but there he is pretending to get off the plane. Speaking of which, or the airport, helicopter. Anyway, so what I was saying was that in the Mcgirt thing, well, was it actually a standing saying that because they need the Indians' help? So they kind of reverse it, think mirror kind of thing. And so they went in and needed the Indians to be able to somehow bring this guy to justice. I don't know. Why can I not
Wait a
find that
Could this be
story?
that something still has access to my account? It's showing here notifications. An update on the account you reported is available. First of all, I haven't reported anything. Second of all, that's the one that says, thanks for letting us know. Our investigation found this account violated Twitter rules. It's telling me I reported something. This has been non-usable for what, a year and a half?
That's weird.
Very weird. I'm not even allowed to do anything. See, I don't know. I'm trying to find the one. It won't let me show. See, this is different. This is different. The one I read the other day was completely different. There's not. Maybe it was an email. Was it a text? I don't even know. Very weird. This changed, and I have no access to do anything. Wait. Oh well.
Okay. I'm giving it up too.
Give it up.
I can't find it. Where did I go? Oh my goodness. I completely lost myself.
It happens.
Anyway. Yeah, just that the Alaska thing really threw me because I'm thinking like, well, why did the Cherokee Indians, who are their territory is in Oklahoma, why would they be needed to go to Alaska to help with this guy who, like, he got arrested for trafficking animals, they said, or they called it game is what they called it. And one of them was a marmot or something like that. And then they said, yeah, they literally called it game. And I wondered if it was a little people thing and they're using those code words not to freak people out.
Odd. How could you traffic game? Doesn't make sense. Maybe they change definitions of things. Maybe game means, Monopoly boards or.
Well, think of those
Jenga.
stories of making people run through the forest and all that. The gummy bears and
Story
all
of the
that.
gummy bears. Yeah.
I'm
and
wondering.
then they eat them.
Yeah.
The gummy bears.
So juicy.
Ugh. Oh, come on, don't say that like that.
Sorry. I freaked Mitch out when Westwood and I were driving to Pennsylvania with Mitch, and we were telling him some of those things, and he was like, "What?" And then we showed him the video, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so creepy."
Who was that?
Mitch.
Oh, Mitchie.
Yeah, Mitchie's Motivational Monday. Happy birthday, Mitch.
It is
Today
his birthday.
is Mitch's birthday. Yes.
Happy birthday, Mitch. Mitchell.
Happy birthday,
Mitchell.
Mitchellis.
Mitchellis.
Uh-huh.
That's a very prestigious name.
Go watch it. Mitchie's Motivational Mondays. It is his birthday today. And yeah, everybody give him a big shout out and check out. And he's at Cust Carpentry on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
So follow him there too.
I can't anymore. I used to. Not anymore.
I know, you poor thing. You're not allowed.
I know.
And I hope Sean feels better because we were planning on doing half over here and then half on his channel. Try to get some. We have such a great chat in our channel. So if you guys are in the chat, oh, Cat Turd retweeted it.
Cat
So
Turd.
for Jim, it says Cat Turd retweeted that story.
I have a friend who
I can find it on there.
is very awake in the good way, and he just had Rick Schroeder follow him. I don't know if you've ever seen Rick
Yeah.
Schroeder.
Oh, I was in love
So-
with Ricky Schroeder. What are
So
you
this
talking
guy
about?
is like
Of course, I know who that is.
awake and like he knows what's going on, and he's like spilling the beans on everything. You got to follow that account. It's pretty good on
Yeah.
Instagram, I believe.
Yeah, he has an Instagram account. Oh,
Yep.
he's such a nice guy. He's a Christian. He's married and doesn't he have like a bunch of kids too?
I don't know. I just found out last night.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've been following him for a while. I'm not on Instagram very much, but
It's one of the only ones where my personal account still works, and I post nothing. I just stalk. You know, I'm free to look around and see things. Hopefully for a long time, but we'll see. Not as juicy. It's not as juicy as Twitter. Twatter.
so juicy. Oh God, this moron. I can't. What is that about?
What do you got? Is it working?
Is a snake. Oh, are you not able to see it?
I am not seeing it at the moment.
Oh, it says it's sharing. How weird.
Now
And
it's
then
sharing.
it said stop sharing. Okay. So yeah, I was
There it shows the snake, huh?
first. Well, then this was on this. I don't know what's more scary, this or this.
He caught it and released it in the woods because it's James Woods.
Ah, that's cute. Let's see. Clown.
Well, this is the most Twitter I get to see.
Check this BS out. Once again, I believe it is BS. Carrying a firearm and be willing to use deadly force if necessary.
Didn't Uncle Cliff just post something on one of his accounts, Telegram, I believe, that showed that that IRS hiring site was already taken down?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he did. Let me see, because I got an alert before.
On his Substack?
On Telegram, I believe.
Oh,
Let's see.
Telegram.
Yeah, let's see if I can find it real quick. Yeah. So it says, wow, they are scrubbing these pages already. This is a jobs.irs.gov, and it says page unavailable. The page you requested temporarily unavailable. We are redirecting you to the home page. Jobs.irs.gov. Well, let's go to it and see what happens. Nope. Yeah. This page is not working. Jobs.irs.gov. It's down.
Dun, dun, dun. There you go.
Unless it's being so bombarded by all the people who
Oh, I'm
want to find a
sure
job.
all the people that can't wait to work there, you know. I mean, meanwhile, all the people that I talk to can't get anyone to work at the convenience store, at the car detail place, at the
Anywhere. I still wonder,
my
where the hell are
lawn
people
guy
getting
can't
their
hire
money?
people.
Like,
Okay,
what are
that's
people
the other
doing at
thing
this
I was
point?
going to talk about was that the USDA raised, demanded that people, oh, it's probably not sharing the right screen again. Hold on. This is like specifically being very difficult this time. It's something it's never like this.
Is it askew? It's askew, isn't it?
It is. It's really frustrating. So there were two articles. One came out of this Apple News. Oh no, that's Social Security. There were two. One was talking about no more free lunch because the great infection is over. So
school kids don't get to eat anymore?
They voted down free lunch and yeah. And
I'm sorry, but aren't they sending free lunches to like Ukraine?
Yeah. Probably.
I think they are.
So
I'm
here it is.
just saying.
Free
So no
school
lunch for your children.
program ends. And it goes on to talk about in Oklahoma public schools, they'll be no longer serving free breakfast. Instead, parents will be, you can fill out a form. If you qualify, then you can get it.
So now
but
sign
no
up for social
longer.
services.
Yeah. Yes. But no longer, because during the Great Infection, everybody was fed breakfast and lunch. But now, no more. But then on this one, it says the USDA revises rules for school lunches and new prices. And so once I clicked on this and I read through the article, which if I do that, it won't let you guys read it. So I'll have to change the page or whatever. But it said that that the USDA was forcing them to increase prices.
Well, of course, it's going to be $25 for lunch soon. For a
And
little
it's like
square
$3.90
pizza.
or something. But if you have more than one kid, you know, I mean, let me see if I can get it to jump
more than
to.
one kid, 3 kids. I mean, yeah, you're talking about, just at a good time, right?
$12 for a family with 3 kids or something. I mean, that's a lot a day for and that's just lunch. Where was that?
Well, what's an
USDA.
extra 60, 120, $240 a month for school lunch? Why not? Why not?
Oh,
What a
it
good
doesn't
time
even-
to shove that in there, huh? What a good time for that.
remove. This is so frustrating. This
So
is the
they're
worst.
sending. So first of all, I just want to tell everybody: pray for Ukraine, pray for Ukraine, and then remember that they're getting your children's free lunch now.
Yeah, but they're not. It's going to U.S. contractors. There was a big hearing on was it DOD and Boeing here in Oklahoma, and I tweeted it out and listened to a lot of it. It was either Friday or over the weekend, and sometime recently, over the end of last week or to this week. And one of the representatives was saying, she's like, I mean, people got mad at me for voting for that money to go to Ukraine, but they didn't realize most of it actually went to our own U.S. contractors, because that's who is fighting to protect Ukraine. So we have to protect them because they're the breadbasket. But so the money's actually going to our own people.
What about our breadbasket? What about our breadbasket here
Wow.
in the middle of the country, where very rich,
I have an article
wealthy
about that
people own most of it and don't do anything with it? It's just sitting there.
Here's the new prices.
Crazy.
7 to 12-year-olds will pay $3.30. Sorry, not
Hold on, you
$3.90.
pay by age now?
Yeah.
The F's up with that.
Yeah.
What do you get more, or they just want to charge you more because you're 7 instead of 6?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. It has it broken out for breakfast and lunch, and then by age. This is for in Oklahoma, and it says that these child nutrition account balances are transferred to new student information.
Child nutrition account. What the hell is nutritious about school lunch? It's empty calories to fill your stomach when you're hungry.
Yeah.
It's like cardboard with some salt on it.
Yeah, and this is a quote from the superintendent. We are required by law from the USDA to raise the amount that we are recommending. Superintendent said, Dr. Mike Simpson said to board members at Monday night's meeting.
So if we go back to some type of lockdown or some type of face diaper events, does free lunch come back?
I don't know. You can apply.
I thought, as much as I would never encourage many people to eat that lunch, I did think it was a good idea that they at least provided meals for children who needed it. They've never
at least it was there for the kids that
before. Yeah.
And the families didn't have to ask for it, and the kids didn't have to ask for it or have, the thing that's crazy is
the food. Yeah.
Most of the kids who need something like that have parents that are not functioning well enough to go fill out a form to ask for it. Or I wouldn't say that may not be a true statement, but a lot of the kids,
a portion for sure.
A portion. Some of the children are going to have parents that are not, or they're going to be so busy trying to get a job or struggling with whatever. You know what I mean? It's like,
Or a lot of
why should you
people
have to
who were
fill out a
doing
form if
well.
you're
Right,
hungry? If you're
right,
legitimately hungry, you just feed the kid
right.
and you worry about getting it paid for later. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
that's the
that's an
human thing to
attitude for
do.
some other things that in the world, but not for feeding children. No. No. You got to jump through hoops and all that kind of stuff. You know how that works. That's
Yeah. No, that only works for golden toilet seats and wrenches for airplanes and, you know,
$300 toilet
black
seats.
budget things. Yes. So,
America.
well, I think we have to, that's why we're going through this. We have to say that enough,
I agree.
and no more. And we have to see it all.
I think a lot more. I've been a bit pessimistic about people understanding and waking up to what's going on in the recent years and times and months. I think at this point, I'm feeling better about it. I feel a lot more people are seeing it. I mentioned before the show started that the face diaper count is going down significantly here on the East Coast. If you remember during the heat of this, something, a year, 2 years ago at this point, there was, I was saying there was, 60-70% of the people, if you went out to the store, were using their diapers. And now it's going to be less than 10%, 5 to 10%. And they're usually the elderly. And as I said earlier, it's probably some elderly who have gotten sick over the past couple of years and are genuinely
scared. And
scared
they
for their
also,
health.
that generation,
And I can understand that.
They also really listen to their doctors and, believe the white coat thing and all that. Speaking of the elderly, there's supposed to be this cost of living adjustment for Social Security beneficiaries. This year it's been approved for 5.9%. The only problem is the inflation is estimated, well, they're publicly admitting it's 9.6%, according to the Senior Citizens League. So the bump would raise the average retiree benefit, which is typically $1,656, would give them a bump of about $158. But the problem is that when inflation is 9.6% and you're only getting a 5, what did they say?
5.6, I think you said.
Yeah, where did it go? 5.9%.
Okay.
Increase, you actually aren't getting an increase at all. And so this is going to start affecting the elderly, and a lot of them are already living on such a small, tight budget that's affecting, their food, their medications, those kind of things. And so once again, another one of those things, when you look at how a society treats their children and their elderly, I think that really says a lot about someone.
Right. And whoever believes that 5.9% is not living on Earth, even
or the
shadow
9.6.
Right. Yeah. Even shadow stats says it's 17% right now.
Yeah.
And
I think we're closer to 20.
Yeah. Yep. And that's fuel, gasoline is at a 75-year high at 44. It just lowered from 60% to 44% year over year inflation for necessities, and I don't even want to know how much food is. I went grocery shopping the other night and I spent $320 and got 4 bags of groceries. And I'm not buying filet mignon and shrimp.
No,
I'm buying,
I know.
veggies and staples. I'm not buying expensive food.
Yeah, we had friends over and just did, like snacky stuff, and I ran Cannon out and I was like, oh, let's get some fruit and like cheeses and do, just snacky stuff. Cause we're going to do a big dinner later, and I think it was like $200 or something. And it was just bags we could carry out.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It was like a few little plastic bags, and I'm thinking like, how is this $200 of?
Hold on a second. You have plastic bags in Oklahoma still?
Mhm.
I'm jealous. I'm
For
jealous.
free. We
We
don't
don't
even
have
pay
bags
for
anymore.
them.
No, we don't have bags anymore. You got to carry your own.
Yeah, we don't even pay for them.
Sometimes I forget my reusable bags and I take the shopping cart out to my car and I just try and play Tetris on the front seat and I got to lean up against it as I'm driving, to try and
Are
make
you
sure it doesn't all
kidding
fall.
me?
Sometimes I'm lazy and I forget my reusable bags.
That's funny.
It is what it is.
Oh
It
my
is what it
God.
is. Welcome to Joyzy. Welcome to Joyzy.
Rice casseroles are making a comeback. Wow.
There you go.
Wow.
Is rice casserole the one that you crumble up the Ritz crackers and put them on top, or the
I
little
think
fried
so.
onions that come in the little can? You know those? Ooh, those are good.
So that brings me back to like, so when we were fostering, I'd have like anywhere from, well, so we did Tuesday night taco night, and then the kids would come over with their small group because we're real involved with the church, and their leaders would come over, and I would cook dinner for everybody. We'd have anywhere from 20 to 40 kids over. And so I made, oh my gosh, I made stuff. There was one thing the kids loved with like tater tots and you used tater tots and ground meat and cream of mushroom soup
Mm,
and
yeah.
cheese and some of those onion things. I feel like it had some kind of vegetable in it. What did it have? Peas or something?
Broccoli.
I think it had peas or something, like a shepherd's pie kind of thing.
Okay.
But the kids loved it. And I did all kinds of weird casserole things. I did enchiladas for them and lasagna, tacos, all that kind of stuff.
You have to
There's
cook
so
it in
much
like a
chili.
50-gallon drum.
Yeah, but I love all that. Like my mom raised me like that because, we had 7 of us because it was, the 4 of us. And then my 3 big brothers came along, and mom always cooked like that. And so that was always like the fun thing to do was, oh, maybe it was green beans, Nancy. That makes sense. Maybe it was green beans. Yeah. And meat prices are down a little bit because ranchers are slaughtering their herds. I've heard that.
Why would that make meat prices go down? Like I get it, but how does that?
Like
How
a
does that?
supply
How does the
demand
economics
thing.
of that work?
The supply demand, so the cattle are being brought in to the slaughterhouses, so there's more meat available.
Makes sense. I was thinking opposite because I was just reading something not too long ago where they were like euthanizing them, not for food. They were just
Yeah, I think
culling
that's
their
BS,
culling
but
their herds.
yeah, I think that's kind of BS. But
Could have been.
we'll see.
Flooding
don't
them.
know.
Well, now I get it. Thank you, Sam Storm. I get it. I get it. I'm a little slow sometimes.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Makes sense now.
Well, now I'm hungry, so I'm gonna go eat some
Me
dinner.
too.
But you guys keep your chin up. I think we are watching a movie, and you know what? Whatever it takes. So I want everybody to just do some critical thinking as you're seeing this stuff roll out. Think about it. To me, one of the most telling things was that when Trump got arrested, when he got breaking news, when Trump was stormed, when his house was stormed, Mar-a-Lago was stormed, Hillary came out immediately and was gloating.
That's ballsy, Miss Acid Wash servers. I mean, come on.
She just wiped him with a rag, like with a rag.
What about the hidden one that was in her bathroom? Remember that? I do.
Well, I've heard there's a bunch of trunks or chests at Mar-a-Lago, and if you think about what he said at his State of the Nation, remember when when we were doing the gematria on that, and he was doing Gone with the Wind, and that was the We Have It All, Hillary, right. And he was saying we don't make them. Gosh, I'm getting chills. They don't make them like they used to anymore, and that was about that. Those movies on Epstein Island are not digital. They're the
Right.
old VHS.
Right.
So they can't say, oh, it's been digitized and whatever. And when they roll that beautiful bean footage, that'll wake some people up.
Yes, it will.
So
Yes, agreed.
we'll
And
see.
they can't
And
mess
the
with it as
timing of
easily
this
yet.
is that Ghislaine, or however you
Thank
call
you
it,
for saying it the
Okay.
right way.
she just got moved to minimum security right before Trump got stormed. Just saying. It's Woo Wednesday.
She needs to be in maximum security where her boyfriend was, and see what happens.
Critically think for yourselves, you guys. Lakeside Laura. Or was that Daddy Oak? Be kind and rewind. That's so funny.
That's true. See, the younger folks, they don't know what that means.
They don't, but we do. All right, guys. We'll see you next time on The New Normal. I will be here with Johnny tomorrow. He's got some good stuff for us. And then Friday, we're going to do a special late edition because we got court
Oh, nice.
again with the ex.
Well, good luck with
All right.
that.
Yeah, good luck with that. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Oh, hold on.
I don't know what happened.
Hold on. It says we're still live.